Make the ground shake.
Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Gummy, and today we are back for another statue tutorial, again continuing with the FNAF sister location series. So this has been tremendously popular, you guys are absolutely loving it, so if you do enjoy this video, definitely consider leaving a like on the video, that would be greatly appreciated. Again, just to, I guess, emphasize, as I say at the start of every single video for this, I will be doing the other sister location characters. You do not need to leave a comment down below asking for them because I will be doing them. So just stay tuned. Every Saturday I'll be releasing a new character and hopefully you will enjoy it just as much every single time. So today our character we're going to be doing is Funtime Foxy. Now we did do a Mangle statue a long time ago, which is very similar to this. We also did a Funtime Foxy FNAF World version on my second channel. I'll leave a link if you want to check that out. And again, very similar. But this is the most updated version of Funtime Foxy in the FNAF sister location. So the materials you're going to need to build this are the following. You'll need magenta stained clay, block of quartz, black wool, light grey wool, cyan stained clay, grey wool, red stained clay, yellow wool, purple stained clay, snow, stone brick stairs, quartz stairs, and nether brick slabs. So I'll give you a second to grab them blocks into your inventory, and then we can get straight into building. And of course, this will be a relatively long tutorial, so hopefully it will go well. As I always say, if you do have any problems throughout the tutorial, just pause the video. I'll try and make it as easy to pause as possible. Go back in the video, see where things have gone wrong. If you're still having issues, let me know down in the comments below in the most politest way you possibly can. That would be great. And I'll try and help you on a more personalized basis. Anyways, with that said, let's get into building. So we're going to start off by building the legs, and the legs are 12 tall and 8 blocks wide. So what we do is we start off by finding a nice empty space, and we're going to place a row of 8 magenta stained clay. So that's 5, 6, 7, and finally number 8. So let me just double check that again, and just to prove to you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and of course number 8. So that is our first layer. Of course, there's 12 in total for the legs, and this is number 1. So let's now continue with number 2. So starting from left to right, layer number 2 is 1 magenta stained clay, 1 quartz, 1 stained clay, 2 quartz, clay, quartz, and clay. So again, that is layer number 2. Layer number 3 is 8 blocks of quartz. And then layer number 4 is 8 blocks of black wool. So again, I back up after every row just so you can pause in case you want to. The next 3 layers on top of this, so this will be 5, 6, and 7, are all 8 blocks of quartz. So again, I'll repeat that. Layers 5, 6, and 7, 3 layers in total, are all 8 layers of quartz. Now we are going to add a 3D effect to this later on in the video, but for now we're not. I'll come back to that in the second stage. For the next layer, what we're going to do is we're going to leave a 3 block gap, and we're going to place 2 blocks of quartz and leave a 3 block gap. Now we do that again, so we have 2 layers where it's just 2 blocks on each one in the 2 center blocks. For the third layer, we're going to do the exact same, so we build up 2, and it will currently look something like this. But on the third layer, what we're going to do is build 1 to the left using light grey wool and 2 quartz, and then do the exact same on the right, 1 light grey and 2 quartz. And what this will do is give you a 3 wide by 2 block gap on the left side and also the right side. Now on top of this, because that was the 10th layer, we've got 2 more layers. We're going to simply do 2 quartz, 4 light grey wool, and 2 quartz. And again, 2 quartz, 4 light grey wool, and 2 blocks of quartz. Now that is 12 tall and 8 blocks wide once you've done that. And that is our legs, or the front of our legs to be more specific, complete. So, I'll give you guys a second to pause here and catch up if you need to do so. Of course, all the 3D effects will come back later on and add once we start working on the sides. For now, we're going to continue up and continue with the body. So, for the body, for the next layer, what we're going to do is place 1 quartz, 6 magenta stained clay, and 1 quartz. That is the first layer of the body. What we're also going to do, just for marking out, we're going to go 4 blocks to the left using quartz, and also 4 blocks to the right. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. and as you can see, the exact same on the other side. And essentially what that's doing is marking out where the hands are going to go, or where the arms are going to start, and it means we can come back later on and go straight from there rather than having to figure it out. It just makes life a tad easier, and that's why we're doing that. Okay, so we're not going to work on the arms now. As I said, we'll come back to it. For now, we're going to continue working on the body. So for the next 3 layers, we're going to do the exact same as we did for the first one. We're going to do 1 quartz, 6 magenta, and 1 block of quartz. Again, twice more. 1 quartz, 6 magenta, and 1 quartz. And one last time, 1 quartz, 6 magenta, and 1 block of quartz. That's 4 layers that are the exact same. The 5th layer is 2 quartz, 4 magenta, and 2 quartz. And again, we're going to do this 4 more times. So the first one is 4 layers the same. The next one is 5 layers the same. So again, just to go over that, it's 2 quartz, 4 magenta, 2 quartz, 2 quartz, 4 magenta, 2 quartz. And hopefully you get the idea. I don't want to drive you mad by saying it literally 5 times. But it is 5 layers of 2 quartz, 4 magenta, and 2 quartz. As you can see here, that is what it looks like, and that is layer 1 to 9. Okay, so that leaves us with 3 layers remaining, and for the final 3 layers, we're going to go back to the same pattern we had for the start. So we're going to do 1 quartz, 6 magenta, and 1 quartz. And we do that, as I said, twice more, so 3 layers in total. And once you've done that, that will bring you to the top, and that will be layer number 12, and it will give you something that looks like this. It almost reminds me of the letter I. Okie dokie, so you can see from here to here is 12 tall and 8 blocks wide, and if you want to pause, you are more than welcome to do so, but this is minus all the 3D effects, so that's what we're going to add in a second. Okay, so for the 3D effects, what we're going to do is come to the top left corner, so to this quartz block here, and go 1 to the right. From here, we're going to place 2 red stained clay. Again, this is 3D, so we're building it on top of, not into, not replacing, on top. We're then going to leave a 2 block gap and place 2 more red stained clay. Underneath this, starting on the left side, we're going to place, leave a 1 block gap and then place a row of 6 red stained clay. And then underneath this, we're going to leave a 2 block gap, place 1, 2 block gap, place 1, and then there should be a 2 block gap. And once you've done that, you'll have yourselves a very nice red bow tie. Now, for the next part, which is the little circle on the center of Funtime Foxy's chest, what we're going to do is come to the red stained clay, and on the left side we're going to go down diagonal to the right, and on the right side we're going to go down diagonal to the left, and we place 2 cyan stained clay. From here we'll do the exact same, so on the left side we go down to the left, on the right side we go down to the right, and it gives you a shape that looks like this, almost like the bottom half of a sad face. We're then going to bring it down 1 block on each side, and then link back into the middle by placing 2 blocks diagonal, like so. And that will leave you with a 2x2 square in the middle, which we're simply going to fill using grey wool. And as you can see, that is the 3D effects complete. Again, just a brief second to pause if you want to catch up, and then we can move on to the arms. So just to recap what we got so far, that is 24 blocks tall, 16 wide, 8 wide if you're not including the arms or what we've done of them. And again, each part is 12 tall, 8 wide, with the 3D effects on the body. Now, in regards to the arms, again, if you haven't already, what you do is come to the 13th layer of the build, and you go 4 blocks to the left and 4 blocks to the right using quartz. We're going to start on the left arm first, each arm being 12 tall and 4 wide. So we've got the first layer, which is of course in line with the 13th layer of the build. It is simply 4 quartz. On top of this, we're going to do 2 layers of 4 magenta stained clay, and that is layer number 2 and layer number 3. For layer number 4, we're going to do simply 4 black wool. Then we're going to do 2 layers of 4 quartz. So as you can see, currently looks like this, and that is 6 blocks tall, so halfway there. For layer number 7 and 8, we're going to do 4 blocks of light grey wool. So we have 2 layers of light grey wool, and to cap that off, we're going to do a layer of 4 black wool. And just to bring it up to the top, as you can see there's 3 layers remaining, we'll do 3 layers of 4 blocks of quartz. And you can see that is now 12 tall and 4 blocks wide, and consists mainly of quartz with 2 stripes of both magenta and black and light grey and black. Now we're going to replicate this now on the right side to the exact same. So we come to the 13th layer of the build, we go 4 blocks to the right using quartz, and on top of this we're going to do 2 layers of 4 magenta stained clay. For the 4th layer we do 4 black wool, and as you can see my placement is a bit off. It seems to be a bit off recently, I don't know what that is. On top of that we're going to do 2 layers of 4 quartz, and then 2 layers of 4 light grey wool. Just like the other side, we're going to cap it off with a layer of 4 black wool, and that leaves us with a 3 block gap to the top, which we're simply going to do 3 layers of quartz. And as you can see, 12 by 4 on each side, that is the left arm and the right arm complete. Now there will be some fingers, I guess you could say, that we're going to be adding on, and again that counts as a 3D effect, but to do that we're going to need to build the sides of the body first. So we're not going to do that now, but we'll come back to it later on, just pointing out that it is there. But for now, as you can see, you should have something that looks like this. It looks a bit weird with the legs being the way they are, but that will all become apparent why that is the case in the very near future. That future being now, because of course we're going to be doing the side of the legs. So for the side of the legs, we're going to come to the bottom left corner of the build at the foot level right here. We're then going to come around to the left side and expand 1, 2, 3 to the left using quartz. And on the right side, you pretty much do the exact same. You just come to the bottom right corner, come around to the right side and go 1, 2, 3 to the right using quartz. So essentially, the legs, or the side of the legs to be more specific, is 12 tall and 4 wide. And we're going to go up layer by layer. However, the 4th block is already done. The 4th block is the front layer. So that's 1 row done. Which means we're only placing 3 blocks per row because 3 plus 1 equals 4. And yeah, that's great maths. So anyways, continuing. 12 tall, 4 wide. The first layer is 3 quartz. The second and third layer are the exact same. So we now have a 3x3 square of quartz. And on top of that, to cap it off, we're going to do 3 blocks of black wool, which should meet up with the already existent black wool. Next, what we're going to do is 3 layers of quartz. And that will bring you up to the gap. For here, what we're going to do is place 1 block gap, 2 magenta stained clay, and a 1 block gap. For the layer on top of this, we're going to do the exact same. So we leave a block, place 2, leave a block. And you'll have a 2x2 of magenta stained clay. For the next layer, which is the 10th layer, we're going to go 3 blocks of quartz. So as you can see, it's now looking very similar to the front side with the gaps. And then 2 more layers of quartz will bring you up to the top, and that will give you your 12 by 4. And from the side now, it should currently look something like this. Now this means, if we come back to the front side now, if we expand this magenta stained clay 2 blocks to the right on both layers, you'll now have something that looks like this. Now to explain what that is, it's an indentation which represents the kneecap. As you can see on the actual main model of the character, there is dents in the knees, just to represent kneecaps and animatronics lines, or the endoskeleton. Now we're going to do the exact same on the right side, but before I do that, again, I'll just give you an opportunity to pause on the left side if you want to. Again, that is 12 blocks tall and 4 blocks wide. Okay, so this is a side view right now of what it should look like. We're going to come around to the right side now. And from here, what we're going to do is pretty much the exact same we did on the left. We're going to start off at the bottom. Again, we already have this row existing of 3 blocks of quartz. On top of this, we're going to do 2 more layers of 3 quartz. For the 4th layer now, we're also going to do 3 black wool. Again, should matching up with the left side, which is already here. And on top of that, we do 3 layers of quartz again. So currently, it is 7 blocks tall. Now, just like the other side, this brings us now to the gap area. So what we're going to do, again, is simply leave 1 block, place 2 magenta, and leave 1 block. And we do that again for a second time. That will give you your 2x2 of magenta, and also a gap on the left, and a gap on the right. Now, for the final 3 remaining layers, just like we did on the other side, the next layer we're going to place 3 quartz, and on top of that we do the exact same, and it gives us something that looks like this. Now, just like we did on the left side, what we're going to do is come to the magenta. This time we're going to extend 2 blocks to the left at the front side, and as you can see, you'll now have your indented magenta on the front side complete. Now, again, I'll give you a view of what the right side should look like, just in case you want to pause. If you do, please do not hesitate to do so. Take your time, and hopefully you'll get it right. And again, from a side angle, looks like this. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's a 3D effect on the front side of the legs. It's simply 2 blocks, so one on the left, one on the right. What we're going to do is we're going to come to the front side and to the bottom left corner, and we're going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So on the 6th layer, we're going to go 1 block to the right, and we're going to place a black wall. And again, that is a 3D effect. We're then going to count 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 5th block, we're going to place another block. So there should be a 4 block gap in the middle, 1 block on the left, 1 block on the right, and that is your 2 black wall. And again, that is all a 3D effect. It's very, very simple, but just makes it look a bit more detailed, and that is again to represent the marks on the legs. So that is the legs. Once they're complete, I'll give you a side view. Again, 12 by 8 at the front and 12 by 4 on each side, the left side and the right side being, of course, the exact same. So that now brings us to the sides of the arms. What we're going to do is come around to the rear side of the body and come to the bottom half of each arm. From here, what we're going to do is expand 1, 2, 3 blocks back on all the way across using quartz. As you can see from below, that will give you a 4 by 4 area of quartz. Now we're going to do the exact same on the other side, and essentially what this is doing is giving us a platform to build from. As you can see, again, 4 by 4 of quartz. So from a front view, looks like this on each side. So before we get to actually building the arms, what we're going to do is build the 3D effect I was talking about earlier. So we're going to need magenta, stained clay, and stone brick stairs. And what we're going to do is go to the left side of the left arm. From here, what we're going to do is build down 1 using magenta stained clay. So this is the bottom left corner. And then we're going to count to the 3rd block. So this is the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And on the 3rd block, we're going to bring it down again using 1 magenta stained clay. Now, if we now come around to the left side of the arm, from this block here, we're going to leave a 1 block gap. So we leave this one and we bring it down 1. So it should go gap, magenta, gap, magenta. So it's 3 blocks in total, and it will look like this. Now, underneath each block, we're going to place an upside down stone brick stair. Now, the stone brick stair is going to be facing away from the direction of the statue. So this way, the direction is looking forwards. So it's going to be facing backwards. So on the front 2, we're going to have 2 facing backwards. And on the side, this is the one exception. It's going to be facing towards the statue like this. So once you've added the 3 stone brick stairs, they act like claws, and they'll look something like this. Now we're going to do the exact same now on the right side. So we head over to the right side, starting off on the bottom right corner. We're going to place a magenta stained clay, leave a 1 block gap, and place a 2nd one on the front side. And then we come around to the right side and leave a 1 block gap and place a 3rd one. Again, just like before, we're going to have them all facing inwards. And that is your 3 stone brick stairs, all upside down, and that adds your fingers / claws. It just makes it look a bit more interesting, and if you do choose to add hips, which I'm going to talk about later on in the video, it will make it look a lot cooler. So that is something to bear in mind, but for now it should look like this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is focus on the side of the arms. Now the side of the arms is 12 by 4, 12 tall, 4 wide, just like the side of the legs. The 4th block is already done, so we're only doing 3 blocks per row. Okay, so the first layer is solid quartz, and on top of that we're going to do 2 layers of 3 magenta stained clay. The 4th layer we're going to place 3 black wool, and then we're going to do 2 layers of quartz. On top of that we're going to do 2 layers of light grey wool, a layer of black wool, and then 3 layers of quartz. Now you may have or may not have noticed that was very, very simple. And the reason that was is because it's the exact same as the front side. So, in case you didn't notice, it is literally the same pattern as the front side, which means you just essentially are building it 3 blocks back from what's already existent. Again, that is 12 tall and 4 wide, and we're going to go around to the right side and do the exact same. So essentially, as I said, whichever block is here is whichever block is going to be on the row. So the first layer is quartz, we then have 2 layers of magenta, a layer of black wool, 2 layers of quartz, 2 layers of light grey wool, and a layer of black wool, before finishing off with 3 layers of quartz. And again, just in case you wanted a slower version of that, because I'm kind of rushing through it a bit, because of course it is very, very simple, that is what it looks like. It is 12 tall and 4 blocks wide, consisting again one last time of quartz, 2 magenta, 1 black wool, 2 quartz, 2 light grey, 1 black, and 3 quartz. Each layer of course being 4 blocks wide, and that is the layers in total. So once you've done that, it looks something like this. The body is starting to take shape and it's looking really, really cool. Now, you may be getting all happy thinking, oh, we're nearly done. However, if you come around to the rear side, it's going to kind of crush your dreams a bit because we are nowhere near done. But we will be soon. We're going to work on this, get through this, and then we'll be moving on to the head. So we're going to start on the rear side of the legs first and get through this first. So the rear side of the legs is 12 tall and 8 wide. However, we already have a row on the left done, and we already have a row on the right side done. So that's 2 rows already done. Which means if we take 2 away from 8, we're only doing 6 blocks per row, essentially just linking side to side. So the first 3 layers consist simply of 6 blocks of quartz. So that's, again, the first 3 layers, 6 quartz. The 4th layer, we're going to do 6 black wool. And then on top of that, we're going to do 3 layers of 6 quartz. So again, that's 3 layers of quartz, 1 layer of black wool, and 3 layers of quartz. That's the first 7 layers. For the 8th and 9th layer, just like we did on the front side, we're going to leave a 3 block gap, place 2 quartz, 3 block gap. And for the 9th layer, 3 block gap, 2 quartz, 3 block gap. Now, as you can see here, from this magenta, we're essentially just going to bring a 2x2 backwards, and it will be the exact same as the front side. So it'll be a 2 block gap here, 2x2. We just simply fill that with magenta. And to cap it off, we're going to do a row of 1 quartz, 1 light grey wool, 2 quartz, 1 light grey wool, and 1 block of quartz. Now on top of this, exact same as the front side again, we do 1 quartz, 4 light grey wool, 1 quartz, and cap off with again 1 quartz, 4 light grey wool, and 1 block of quartz. And once you've done that, that is the rear side of the legs. Very, very simple, if not more simple than the front side. But that brings us to the rear side of the body. Now, of course, Funtime Foxy has a tail. The tail is going to cover a lot of detail. So, in terms of the actual statue, the rear side of the body is plain quartz. That is, in fact, a 12 tall by 8 wide area of quartz. So all we're going to do is just build up 12. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And we do this all the way across until we have a 12 by 8. So we're going to do this for 8 rows in total. And that will give us our lovely jubbly 12 by 8, 12 tall and 8 wide rectangle of quartz. It's as simple as that. Now, of course, it's not really as simple as that because we will be building a tail and that requires a lot of thought. But for now, it's very, very easy. As you can see, very plain, but very simple. All we're going to do is just simply link this to the front side at the top using quartz. And then that just leaves us with the rear side of each arm to do before we can move on. So, the rear side of each arm. Essentially, doing the exact same as every other side of the arms. Replicating. So, it is a 12 tall by 4 wide. Already got the 4th row, so we're only doing 3 blocks. And the same logic applies. Whichever block is at the side is what we're going with. So, we have a layer of quartz. We then, for the 2nd and 3rd layer, have 3 magenta stained clay. The 4th layer is 3 black wool. The 5th and 6th is 3 quartz. The 7th and 8th layer is 3 light grey wool. The 9th layer is 3 black wool. And then the 10th, 11th and 12th is all 3 blocks of quartz. As you can see, very, very simple pattern. For the shoulders, just go ahead and fill that in with quartz. It doesn't really matter. And then the exact same for the other arm. So we just rinse and repeat. The first layer is, of course, quartz. We then have 2 layers of magenta stained clay, a layer of black wool, 2 layers of quartz, 2 layers of light grey wool, a layer of black wool, and then 3 layers of quartz. That brings you up to the top. Fill in the shoulders, and once you've done that, that is the basic version of the body complete. I say basic because, of course, we're missing the tail, and that is relatively complicated. But we are going to do the tail right now. But before we do the tail, before we move on to the tail, should I say, we're going to do a little spin around, a little progress report, just to make sure everyone is on the same page. So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to come to each specific part of the statue. I'm going to read out the measurements, I guess. So it's 12 tall, 8 wide. This is the front side of the legs. And you're going to be able to have an opportunity to pause. Now, I'm not going to specifically say to you to pause for each time because that will drive you mad. It will drive me mad. and the whole universe will probably go mad. But I'll give you guys a second to pause, and then you can do it whenever you want. If you don't want to, and you're perfectly fine with the video so far, then simply just skip ahead. Anyways, this is the front side of the legs. It is 12 tall and 8 wide. Has 3D effects, 2 black wool on the left side and the right side, which you can see on the 6th layer. Moving on up to the body, it again is 12 tall and 8 wide. Has 3D effects of the bow tie and also the circle just below the bow tie. On the left side and the right side is both arms, again 12 by 4, and then we have the claws coming off the bottom. They're not, I guess, compulsory. You can add them if you want, don't add them if you don't want to. It's up to you. There's 3 in total, 2 on the front side and 1 on the corner. Coming around to the left side, we have the left side of the leg. It is 12 tall, 4 wide, of course has the 2 block gap on either side of the magenta in the middle, which acts as the kneecaps. The left side of the arm, again 12 tall, 4 wide, very very simple, same pattern as the front side of the arm. Coming around to the right side, we have the right side of the leg, exact same as the left, 12 tall, 4 wide, and the right side of the arm, exact same as the left, 12 tall, 4 wide. Rear side, we have the rear side of the legs, 12 tall, 8 wide, again has the indentations of the magenta stained clay. Moving on up to the rear side of the body, a 12 by 8 simply of quartz, so it's plain quartz, and on either side of that 12 by 4, same pattern as the front and sides. For the shoulders, very very simple, just pretty much plain quartz, 16 wide, 4 thick, looks like that. And on that basis, hopefully you're all caught up if you did have any problems, and we're all ready to move on to the tail. So for the tail, what we're going to do is come around to the rear side, and we're going to find the first layer of the body, which is basically the first layer above this row of light grey wool. So this row here, which is not in line with the arms, the row below that is 2 quartz, 4 light grey wool, and 2 quartz. That is the 12th layer. The 13th layer, aka the first layer of the body, should be in line with the arms, and we're going to leave not a 1 block gap, but a 2 block gap, and we're going to place 4 blocks of quartz. And again, this is all 3D. So essentially, from here, what we're going to be building is the outline. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to start off by bringing it back 1 more layer. So it's now a 4 by 2, and this is essentially the first platform. From here, we're essentially going to make an outline. So I'm going to come around to the left side and give you the guidelines. So the first layer, as you can see here, is 2 wide. On top of this, we're going to do a layer 4. So we place the 2, and then we go 2 blocks more to the left. So this is the first layer and the second layer. The next layer, the third layer, is 6 wide. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 more. So it's now 6 blocks from the rear side of the body. And we're going to do that once more, but this time instead of 6, we're going to do 7. So it's 1 more further out. As you can see, 2, 4, 6, and 7. 7, 6, 4, 2. So 4 layers in total at this point in time. The 5th layer, we're going to leave a 2 block gap. So we're going right to left in this case because we're going away from the body. We leave a 2 block gap, and then we're going to place 6. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and finally number 6. The next layer, we're going to leave a 3 block gap. So we go 1, 2, and then 3. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it should come out to the same length as the previous layer, and that is 5 in total. For the next layer, what we're going to do is from this block here, we're going to leave a 1 block gap, and we're going to place 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just backing up so you can pause if you want to. And we're going to do another layer the exact same on top of that. So again, that is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th layer. So 1, 2, 8. The 9th layer, which is pretty much the final layer of the bare tail, we're going to leave a 1 block gap, and then we're going to place 4 blocks, and again, you can see that is the shape. So this was heavily influenced by a statue I did a long time ago of Rocket Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's a smaller version, but is heavily influenced by that, and I think it works really well. So let me know down below in the comments what you think of it. So yeah, pretty much that is the outline. That's what you need to do, and we're then going to go ahead and replicate this on the right side in this case. So what we're going to do, as I said, is start off at the bottom. We have 2 blocks, and for the second layer, we're going to go 4 blocks to the right, like so. For the next layer, that 4 blocks becomes 6, so we do 6 to the right. So again, it's 2, 4, 6. The fourth layer is 7, so we go 7 blocks to the right, and that will extend 1 block over, and that's the final block, which begins at the body. The next layer, which is the fifth layer, we're going to leave a 2 block gap, and then we're going to place 6, so that will overextend 1 block further. The layer after that, we're going to leave a 1 block gap from here and place 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again we'll meet at the same point. The next layer, we're going to leave a 1 block gap again and place 5, so that will overextend 1 block, and we're going to repeat this again, so 2 layers of 5. And for the final layer, we leave a 1 block gap, place 4, and you should have something that is the exact same as the other side. So the left side and the right side should be the exact same, but there should be a 2 block gap in between. And what we're going to do is simply just place 2 blocks in between each side and join both sides together to have a 4 thick tail, and this will be the bare outline or bare shape of the tail. And again, you do this on the top side, the rear side, and also the lower side. Just link it all together so we have a nice 3D shape. Doesn't matter if it's hollow. Again, we just want the basic shape essentially. So again, from the left point of view, this is what it looks like. Make sure to fill that gap in as well there. And also from the rear side, looks like this. And from the right side, looks like this. So as I said, that is the bare shape. We're now going to add a bunch of 3D effects onto this to make it look a little bit better, a little bit more bushy, and a little bit more interesting. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to start at the top left corner. So we come up to here, the top left corner, and we're going to go down diagonal 1. From here, this is all 3D, we're going to place 3 blocks, so 1 and then twice to the right. Below this, we're going to place 4 blocks, so once and 3 blocks to the right. Underneath this, we're going to place another layer, so we place 1 and we go 3 blocks to the right. And underneath that, we're going to place 1 and 4 blocks to the right. So currently looks like this. The next layer, we're going to leave 1 block and we're going to place 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The layer underneath that, we're going to leave again 1 block and place 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the next layer, we're going to leave 2 blocks, so there's 2 block gap here, and we're going to place simply 2 right there. As you can see, this is what it looks like. Again, that's all 3D effects. I know that might be a bit difficult to see because the background is, of course, quartz, and it blends relatively well, but that is, of course, what it looks like. Coming around to the right side, we're going to go up to the top right corner. We're going to go down diagonal to left to here and place a block and go twice to the left. That is the first layer of the 3D effect. Underneath that, we're going to place a row of 4. So 1 block under and then 3 to the left. And under that, we're going to do another layer. So 1 block under, 3 to the left. For the next layer, we're going to go down again and then go 4 blocks to the left. So it's 5 in total. Underneath that, we're going to leave a 1 block gap and place 5. We're then going to leave another 1 block gap and place 4. And then a 2 block gap and place 2. And again, exact same as the other side, just repeated on this side. As you can see, it starts to make it looks like it has a bit more shape, is what I'm trying to say there. I don't know why I'm stuttering a bit there. But as you can see, a lot more shape, a lot more interesting, and that is the tail so far. Now what we're going to add to the tail, and what it's lacking, is the magenta highlights. Of course, the tail has a purple end, or a magenta end in this case. So what we're going to do is on top of this, there should be a 4x4 platform at the top out of quartz. On top of this, we're going to do a 4x4 of magenta, and we're going to make it 2 tall. So we add 2 layers of magenta as a 4x4. So essentially it's a 4x4 by 2, and that is the purple / magenta area. From here, what we're going to do is come to the rear side, facing towards the back side of the body, and come to the bottom left corner, and then we're going to leave 1 block, place 2, and in front of it place 2 more, so we have a 2x2 square. From here, we're going to bring it back 1 block, and then down, each block being 2 thick, of course, and that gives, again, another layer, and that is the final layer, and once you've done that, as you can see, it should come in line with the top of the body, so it should be at the same height as the top of the body, but from the side view, looks like this, from the rear view, like this, and then the left view, like this. So of course, I really do hope you like that version. Again, I played around with the tail for quite a long time just to get it to a point that I actually liked it. I really do hope you like it as much as I did. If you don't, feel free to play around with it and get it to a point where you do like it. Okie dokie. So that leaves us with one last thing to do before the video is over, and that is of course the head. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to start off with the front side, come up to the top left corner, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And on the 5th block, we're going to place a block of quartz and bring it 2 blocks forwards. We're then going to head over to the right side. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 5th block, we place a quartz, bring it 2 forwards. There should be a 6 block gap in between each row, so we're going to do 2 rows of 6 quartz, and that will join it all together and give you an 8x2 overhanging the front side of the body. What we're then going to do is come around to the sides and expand 5 blocks backwards, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and same with this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just like the front side, link together by placing 6 blocks in the middle. That will give you another 8x2 overhang, but most importantly, that will give you an 8x8 square, which is going to be the template for the head. Now every other side apart from the front side is plain quartz, so that's something to consider, but we'll discuss that in a second. We're going to do the front side first, get it out the way, and then of course that just leaves us with the easier part later on. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the first layer, which is 8 quartz. The second layer is 1 quartz, 6 blocks of black wool, and 1 block of quartz. On top of this, we're going to place 1 quartz, 1 magenta stained clay, 4 black wool, 1 magenta stained clay, and 1 block of quartz. The next layer, we're going to need our purple stained clay. So we're going to place 1 quartz, 1 magenta, 1 purple, 2 quartz, 1 purple, 1 magenta, and 1 quartz. On top of this, we're going to need our snow. So we start off on the left side by placing 1 magenta, 1 snow, 1 yellow stained clay, 2 magenta, 1 yellow stained clay, 1 snow, and 1 magenta. On top of this being the 5th layer, or the 6th layer, apologies. The 6th layer is 1 magenta, 1 snow, 1 yellow wool, 2 magenta, 1 yellow wool, 1 snow, and 1 magenta. The 7th layer, the second to last layer, is 3 magenta, 2 quartz, and 3 magenta, and the final layer, the 8th layer, being 8 blocks of quartz. And once you've done that, it looks something like this. Does not look at all like Funtime Foxy. But of course, we're going to be making a few modifications, which will make it look a ton better. So the way we're going to start off with our modifications, we're going to grab ourselves our nether brick slab. We're going to come to the 7th layer, second to last layer, to the left side, leave a 1 block gap, and place 2 blocks on the upper half of this magenta. We do the exact same on the right side, so directly above both eyes, we place 2 blocks, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, on the upper half of the magenta stained clay. Again, both using nether brick slabs, and that's step number 1. Now we will be adding a bunch of stuff to the front side, but first we're going to focus on filling in the other sides. So what we're going to do is come around to the left side, and basically each side is an 8x8 square of quartz. So we have this base layer here. What we're going to do is just build up 7 going all the way around using our quartz, and that will loop all the way around to the right side of the front, and that will give you your surfaces of quartz. So again, just building up 7 blocks each time following the path of the template. That will loop all the way back around and will give you the left side, right side, and rear side all complete. So again, as I just stated, the left side, right side, and rear side are all plain quartz. So as you can see, I'm just on the right side now, looping all the way around, and we are nearly done. So that will also turn it into an 8x8x8 cube. So 8 tall, 8 wide, and also 8 thick. And again, it looks really, really bad at the moment, but trust me, it will all come together. So as you can see, this is the left side at the moment, the rear side, and the right side. And also, whilst we're at it, go ahead and fill in the top of the head using quartz. And that will pretty much give us a complete build to work from. Okie dokie. So that is the head complete, pretty much, in its core element. And now we're going to go a bit crazy with 3D effects and start making it look a tiny bit more like Funtime Foxy. Okie dokie. So come back to the front side. What we're going to do is come to the bottom left corner underneath the face. So there's a 2 block gap here of quartz. What we're going to do is leave 1, and then we're going to bring it forwards 1, 2, 3, and 4. And same on the right side. So we're going to leave one block and bring it forwards 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to join it inwards. So we go in diagonal on the right side and in diagonal on the left. And link together by placing 2 blocks in the middle. Go ahead and fill all this gap in using quartz. And that will give you the new chin, I guess you could say. Because this is going to be the new front side of the mouth. And it will give you something that looks like this. So again, that's 2 blocks, 4, and 1. And from above, it will look now something like this. Now, for the mouth, what we're going to do is layer it. So we've got the first layer here. The outline is going to be the quartz here, and then the inside area will be the 4x4 square in the middle. For this 4x4 square, just grab yourself some black carpet, and just cover it up with a layer of black carpet. So a 4x4 square in the middle, and that will give you a clear outline of where all your teeth are going to go. Now, in regards to the teeth, what we're going to do is, of course, grab ourselves our quartz stairs. This is going to be kind of tricky. The way we're going to do this is we're going to start off on the front side of the left corner by placing a black wall, leaving a 1 block gap, black wall. On the right side, again, first block, black wall, gap, black wall. In terms of the middle, this center part here, on the left side and the right side, place a black wall, and essentially, off of each black wall, we're going to place ourselves a stair. So, from this block here, we're going to place a stair facing towards the face, and same on this side. And it's upside down, again, that's why it's tricky to place, that's why we need the wall in between. And also, on each side of the center parts, just extend it 1 outwards, just so you can place a quartz stair, again, facing towards the body. So that's 4 in total so far, left side and right side. And you can see where I placed a black wall was where the gaps are going to be in the jaw. Now, in terms of the middle section, on the left side, we're going to place a upside down stair coming off of this block here, on the right side one here, and it links together in the middle and has a little gap. We're then going to punch out the black wall, and that is the first layer of the jawline. As you can see, 6 stairs in total, and it is relatively simple. So we're going to add another layer onto this now. So following the outline from this magenta block here, we're going to bring it forwards 4 purple stained clay. And same from this side, 4 purple stained clay. We're then going to bring it forwards diagonal on each side, just like we did on the quartz, and place 2 purple to link it together. In between this, we're going to place a layer of 4 magenta stained clay, and in this remaining area, just simply fill it all in using black wool. So that's going to be the upper area of the mouth, and if you look in the mouth so far, it should look like this. So the mouth is very, very thin, but works perfectly fine. Now, in regards to the final layer of the nose/mouth area, what we're going to do is a 4x4 square of magenta stained clay. You can use purple again if you want to. I'll use purple just to keep it consistent. So I'll do a 4x4 of purple stained clay just above, and it will cover up all the black wool and the magenta. And in regards to the nose, we're simply going to leave 1 block at the front, place 2 black wool and 1 block, and it will now look like this. As you can see, starting to look a little bit more like Funtime Foxy. So now we've got this massive overhang of the jaw, and I'll give you a few views from the side, from the upper half, and then from the other side. So of course, this part here expands out 4 blocks, the 5th one being this one, and it is 4 tall in total. Okie dokie. So, moving on now, of course, once you've done that, we need to puff out the sides of the face. So, we come around to the left side of the build, to the bottom left corner, and we're going to place to the left of it 1 quartz. On top of this, we're going to go up 1, 2, and 3. And then what we're going to do is leave 1 block gap from the bottom, go 2 to the left, and then up 1 on the block above. So essentially, 3 layers. The first one is 4, the second one is 2, and the third is 1. We're going to come around to the rear side of this and expand it 1 block backwards, so make it 2 thick, just like you can see right here. So again, just to emphasize, the first layer is 4, starting from the bottom. The next one is 1 block, 2, and 1 block gap. And then the final layer, the third one, is 1 block gap, 1 block, and a 2 block gap. We then go ahead and repeat this on the right side, so we come to the bottom right corner. We place a row of 4 quartz. Going to the right, we leave a 1 block, and then we place 2. And then once more, we leave 2 block gap. Or we place a 1 block gap, and then 1 block, and then a 2 block gap. So it looks like this. Come to the rear side and expand it 1 block backwards, all the way across. And it's now 2 blocks thick. So that makes it look a bit more like chubby, I guess a bit more fluffy and a bit more furry. But just so it's not solid areas of quartz, what we're going to go ahead and do is grab ourselves our red stained clay. And in the center area here, you'll see there's like a 2x2 area. Right next to the purple stained clay, we're going to place a 2x2 of red stained clay. So it will connect diagonally with the stair and will sit perfectly right next to the purple. And same on this side. So we come over and in line with the purple stained clay, we place a 2x2 of red stained clay. And that's kind of like blushing cheeks, but also just adds a bit more color and a bit more interest to the specific area. Okay, so that brings us to our final step of the video, which is building the ears. We're going to start off by coming to the top left corner of the head and counting in 1, 2, and to the third block and placing a cyan stained clay. So let me get that on my hotbar. We place 1 cyan stained clay. We're then going to count 1, 2, 3, place 2 quartz, 1, 2 gap, and then 1 cyan stained clay. So essentially this has marked everything out already. Ear number 1, left ear, 2 block gap, center part of hair, like a little spike up, 2 block gap, and right ear, aka ear number 2. What we're then going to do is go 1 block backwards on each side using cyan stained clay, because of course the ears are too thick. So starting on the left ear, what we're going to do is with the front cyan stained clay, we're going to go 2 blocks to the left using quartz. On top of that, we're going to place 2 magenta stained clay. And then from here, we're going to go 1 to the left, up, and to the right twice, and then cap it off by going down diagonal and linking back to the cyan. And that is the front shape. From the rear side, we essentially just double it up. So we double it all the way up, apart from the magenta. The magenta is an exception. We replace it with quartz on the rear side, because of course the front of the ear texture is not on the rear side. And that is it. That is pretty much the ear. It's too thick, exact same shape on both sides. I'll do the right side just so you guys can know what it looks like. So we go 2 blocks to the right from the cyan stained clay. On top of this, we're going to place 2 magenta. We're then going to go to the right one, up one, to left twice, and down diagonal. And that is the front side. And then we come around to the rear side and bring it back all the way 1 block. Instead of magenta though, using 2 quartz. And once you've done that, you'll have a left ear and a right ear. Of course, the centerpiece in the middle, just to make it look a bit more balanced. But most importantly, that is your Funtime Foxy statue complete. Now, one thing I am going to talk about before we wrap the video up is something Lazar did in the original design, because of course this was designed by Lazar, also known as Potazer, and he added some hips, because Funtime Foxy is one of the rare characters in the game that has hips. Now, personally, I wasn't a fan, but it is extremely realistic to the game, which is why I'm going to mention it, and why I'm going to offer you the opportunity to add them. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to come to the centerpiece of the body. From here, we're going to go to the left side to this area, roughly diagonal from the purple stained clay, right next to this black wall. And what we're going to do is punch out a block, and we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's 5 in total. We do the exact same on the right side. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you'll have 2 almost like slits in the body. Well then, on the rear side, at the exact same area, punch out 5 blocks. So it needs to be in line. You just simply go in the gap, I guess you could do, and punch backwards, and make sure you have a 5 block gap on each side. Now, the way you're going to do this in the inside is just join everything up together using quartz, so there's no holes in the side of the statue. So as you can see, I'm just going around and adding quartz everywhere. And if there's, for example, black wool here, just simply connect it all using black wool and light grey wool. And as you can see, what that will do is almost add slits into the character. And what that will do is just give it hips, or represent hips is probably the better way of doing it. Give the character a bit more shape and make it extremely realistic to the Funtime Foxy character in-game. So again, I don't know how I feel about it. I think it looks a bit off, but at the same time, it is extremely realistic to the character in-game. So if you want to add it, feel free to do so. And if you did enjoy this, let me know down in the comments below. It would be very much appreciated. Again, huge credit to Potazer, aka Lazar, for the design. Of course, I updated it a bit, modernized it a bit, but it's a really cool design, so credit where credit is due. I'll leave his links in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, definitely consider leaving a like and subscribing if you haven't already. Apart from that, my voice is absolutely killing me, as always. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, my name is Gummy, and goodbye. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand
to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through?